Welcome to ecotopiaumedia. I'm your host, Melissa McGinnis, joined by my co-host, Tom Wright.
She keeps lengthening my first name. We're trying to get more dramatic.
What are you guys, Johnny Carson over there?
Yeah. We have a very dear friend with us today, Steve Hoffman. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Tom and Melissa. How are you?
Very good.
We're great. Where are you piping in from?
Piping in from Manhattan Beach, California, kind of in the heart of Los Angeles.
Lucky you. What are you doing? What brings you to Manhattan Beach?
Actually, there's a very interesting conference going on here called ShiftCon, and it is where hashtag shift happens. And it's a conference for eco and wellness bloggers across the country. So there are 400 bloggers here to discuss everything from climate change to sustainability to healthy lifestyles.
Very nice. Very nice. So, Steve Hoffman, let's get to know you a little bit better, okay? So, what's your arc? How did you get into the natural food industry? What did you study in college? Where did you go to college, and how did that connect to the natural food industry?
Well, thank you, Tom and Melissa. I've always been interested in health and the natural world. For a long time, I actually thought I wanted to be a medical doctor. I did study that in college at Penn State, but realized that that may not necessarily be my exact calling. At the same time, I still felt that connection between nature and health. After I received an undergraduate degree at Penn State University, I volunteered in the Peace Corps. And that put me in Central America, where I worked with farmers and rural agricultural communities, and where I really got an appreciation for how local communities grow food, and also for a thing they call the circle of poison. And that is where they ban pesticides in the United States, but then ship them overseas for other countries to use. And those products grown with those banned pesticides end up getting imported back into the United States. And I started thinking to myself, okay, there's a way we can do this without poisoning ourselves in the environment. When I returned to the United States, I enrolled in graduate school after working for a while with the Cuban refugee crisis and in a major agriculture and garden center. And now I actually wanted to get into food and agriculture. And so I returned to Penn State and received a master's degree in agriculture and entomology. I followed that by becoming an agricultural extension agent of all places in the city of Philadelphia, but I helped direct the urban gardening program there, and in a little over 2 years, we were able to help put in over 100 city gardens in the city, and I worked with a low-income and ethnic areas in North Philadelphia, particularly with the Puerto Rican population in the city. And again, that just brought me more and more into food and local and how communities can empower and support themselves, because when we would convert a vacant lot into a garden, it would become a neighborhood community center and a source of pride for that community. So I really saw the power of connecting communities and food. From there, I kept thinking to myself, I'd really like to get involved in natural and organic, and found a way. I became an associate editor with a trade magazine that ended up being the leading trade magazine in our industry. I grew within that organization and really got to know and interview and work with all the pioneers and founders and major brands in our industry in natural and organic products, and continue to do so today. So feel very fortunate to be involved in an industry that's really having a tremendous influence on people on the planet.
So, what are you doing now, Steve?
I run a branding and public relations agency called Compass Natural. And we serve as guides to brands, emerging brands, existing brands in the natural and organic product space. I reach over 65,000 subscribers with my newsletter list. And we put out lots of press on the great news that's generated within this industry to try to make more and more people aware about the health and environmental benefits of organic food and agriculture. So what I tell people is we do everything from PR to package design to political campaigns of all things. And we've worked on a number of GMO labeling bills.
The foods industry really needs our like ambassadors. They need a direct connection with people. So your service is extremely beneficial, I know.
Well, thank you very much.
What are some of the like more exciting things that you have worked on or that you've witnessed over your years in this industry?
Well, I actually had the good fortune when I was the editorial director of our industry's trade magazine to be very involved with the founding and passage of the Organic Food Production Act in the early 90s. That was a revolutionary moment for the way food is produced in our country. Now there's actually a legal framework for how the word organic is used, and that's really important for consumers. I also was very much involved in covering and working with leadership in the passage of an act called the Dietary Supplements Health and Education Act in the mid-90s, passed around the same time, which allowed for supplements to be able to market some of the benefits that they could make claims on, which further opened up this wonderful nutrition and natural medicine and remedies market to consumers across the country, which was a market that was fighting the FDA tooth and nail while the consumers kept clamoring for natural health and nutrition. So those two acts that were passed in the 90s have created the industry we see today. Additionally, I make my bread and butter on logos, package design, public relations, sales sheets for companies looking to sell their products into stores, but where my passion lies is in promoting the benefits of organic food and farming. And today I actually am pleased to say one of my clients is a group called Regeneration International, which is a nonprofit organization, or what we call an NGO, or non-governmental organization, that was founded by renowned agricultural activist and author Vandana Shiva, along with World Food Prize winner Hans Herren and others, to tie in the fact that actually organic farming and agriculture, with its healthy soils that tie up a lot of carbon, is actually a solution for reversing climate change. So that is, I think, some very, very exciting and very important and needed work in our world right now, that the solution for climate change literally is under our feet.
All puns intended.
Literally, yes. Explain to our viewers what you mean about that.
Yeah, explain a little bit about carbon sequestration in soil.
Okay, so healthy soils grow living plants. Living plants actually do photosynthesis. They release oxygen. They breathe in carbon dioxide. They tie that carbon into their plant life. They tie it into their root structure. They bring it into the soil. So organic farmers, for them, the soil is everything. And the way we're able to get such beautiful, nutritious, organic fruits and vegetables is that organic farmers are building their soil. They work on it all the time. And the soil itself is fertile and alive and full of carbon, and it literally will take it out of the atmosphere into the ground. Meanwhile, our whole challenge with the conventional agriculture system, which is heavily reliant on toxic synthetic chemicals, synthetic fertilizers derived from fracked natural gas, and also genetically engineered seeds, is very input intensive and also leaves the soil very sterile. It's not alive. They actually have to apply synthetic fertilizer to the soil to get the plants to grow. What's happening with these millions and millions and millions of acres of conventional farms is they are actually releasing all that living carbon into the atmosphere to the point where it is estimated that agriculture alone contributes 30 to 40% of all global greenhouse gases. Nobody is talking about that, and it's half of the conversation.
Well stated. Well stated. So for the listeners, what can they do about? What's the website for? Is it regenerationinternational.org? Is that the website?
Mm-hmm. First, it's not that easy to roll off the tongue. It's regenerationinternational.org, and you can learn more there. There are other organizations that are associated with us. One called the Carbon Underground. I love the name. And it is a partner organization that is advocating the same thing, that if we actually could adopt sustainable agricultural practices more wider scale around the world, again, we can actually lower carbon levels in the atmosphere. This is based on true, ongoing, 30-year field studies and research conducted by our friends at the Rodale Institute. Rodale coined the term organic in the 40s, and then the son, Robert Rodale, coined the term regenerative agriculture because he could see the power of organic agriculture is actually a solution to climate change. I have a blog on my website at compassnatural.com, and look for the title, Organic Offers a Low-Cost Solution to Global Warming. It is a review of Rodale's research that they just published in 2014, showing that, believe it or not, a very bold statement, but again, organic regenerative agriculture, according to Rodale Institute's 30 years of side-by-side field research, organic and mainstream agriculture, actually has the power to tie up enough carbon in our soils to start lowering the emissions in our atmosphere to pre-industrial levels. I mean, that's sensational. And again, right under our feet.
And the right thing to do. I mean, why would we continue to add synthetic fertilizers to dead soil and when we have this wonderful natural approach to harvest carbon but also produce healthy food from healthy soil?
Well, the only analogy I can think of is, okay, you're ill, and there are a couple approaches you can take. You might mix your approach. One is, how can I boost my own health and immunity? And what can I do in harmony with my body, my environment, nature? What natural remedies can I take? Can I actually get sleep? Maybe I'm not getting enough sleep. Maybe I need to drink more water. Simple things that are free and affordable and available right at our fingertips. Or, oh my God, I'm feeling bad, I need pharmaceuticals. I'm going to fix myself up the shortcut way, which of course has many side effects. We call them effects. If your hair falls out because you're in chemotherapy, that ain't no side effect. That's an effect. So we feel that, and another analogy I take here is kind of open source versus patented. Open source, if we look at the software solution, everybody can contribute to Linux software, and Google's Android is open source software, and people are contributing that to make that better software from all over the world. Or we have patented, closed software that you can't change, you can't fix, and you have to buy it. So in conventional and industrial agriculture, there are 5 companies in the whole world that actually own all of the world's seed stock and are controlling our food systems. And these are the 5 industrial players that choose to farm with intensive chemicals, natural gas, derived fertilizers, and infertile soils. And they swear that their system is safe, but we know for 70 or 80 years now that these chemicals are affecting the health of our children. They're affecting the health of our environment. And something that's actually very close to home for me is today, 1 in 2 men are getting cancer and 1 in 3 women are getting cancer from chemicals in our environment. So when we add them to our food, I think, again, we're playing an interesting game. So where in the old days it was an apple a day that keeps a doctor away, well, according to the USDA itself, they've done tests on apples. There are an average of 3 to 5 pesticide residues that are toxic synthetic pesticide residues that you can't wash off those apples. The organic apple, on the other hand, no detectable pesticide residues. So that's why I say it's the organic apple a day that keeps the doctor away. The conventional apple, regretfully, if you eat pesticides for 40 or 50 years of your life, you're ingesting carcinogens on a daily basis over the course of your life, which is how cancer develops.
It's so unbelievable. Hey, we're just guinea pigs in our own little world. It's unbelievable.
Well, this is the first chapter for Steve Hoffman. We're going to have to get back with you again and do chapter 2.
If you wouldn't mind joining us again, you're so valuable to this conversation.
Not at all. All I need is a cup of coffee on my desk with you guys as well, and we can have a coffee clatch. No, I'm very honored, and I only hope that some of the things that I can share gets people to think a little more about what's going on in our world. Where are we all complicit? And where can we all make simple changes in our life that if we add them all up and we do it together, my goodness, we actually do have the power to change things for the better.
Well, part of it is getting the education out. So thank you again for contributing to this media outlet, which is just all about eco-literacy. So we really appreciate that. But I have a quick question. Were either of you at the Organic Center dinner when I ate the conventional apple and died and Ben Newmark came and saved me with the organic apple?
No, I missed that.
You have to ask me this question again. I didn't quite get that.
It was an Organic Center dinner when the Organic Center first was starting off.
This was in Anaheim.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
maybe 8-9 years ago, like a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
One of the first dinners that they ever had.
And it was Tom Newmark that saved you?
It was Ben Newmark, Tom Newmark's son.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
my goodness.
He and I did the play on stage where I ate the conventional apple and I died because there was too many pesticides.
Oh,
I don't know if you were there, but
I was
the people
not there
that
for
saw
that dinner.
they will not let me live that down because it was not that great. it was
Okay.
kind of embarrassing. But anyway, I thought you'd appreciate that story nonetheless.
It wasn't an Emmy winning or a Tony Award winning moment.
I thought it was going to be. I don't know what happened. I don't think people got it, or maybe nobody has a sense of humor there. I don't know.
No.
Anyway, it was fun.
We went to the Neil Young tour this summer, his Monsanto Years tour.
Yeah.
And he has, first he has all these people come out on the stage in hazmat suits, spraying pesticides all around the stage. And then he comes out and, does his a Rockstar Bucks a Coffee Shop song.
Oh, God. He's getting people's attention. Got it. I get it.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, Steve. We'll speak with you soon. Have a great time in Southern California.
Thank you very much, both of you. A pleasure. Thank you for including me.